life feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no wave.
Yo, for whatever reason, man, because somebody like get Young Thug a PR manager or change his password or something, man. Young Thug is now fully beefing with Rich Homie Quan's brother, Dre. And they're beefing over the idea of what Quan felt about Thug at the time of his demise and also why they didn't reconcile before this. Thug is in the, he was at first saying, man, we always had love for each other, blah, blah. Dre was always saying, come on, that's not true. That's not entirely honest. Don't do that. Now it's gotten to a part where I think Thug has realized the entire family of Rich Homie Quan, it's not that appreciative of him trying to like come in like they were best friends. And he's actually now lashing out on them, including even calling Rich Homie Quan a snitch. He claims that Rich Homie Quan was about to take the stand on him in the week that he died, which makes this all the more interesting. I'll read some tweets and you guys could kind of get what's going on here. So Rich Homie Dre, so this is his brother, he says, Quan knew he was going to get all the love when he was gone. Everything he spoke about really happened. My boy was tired and drained, and he's now at peace. Please let him rest. Hurts me to know that this is all occurring now, but it's the way life is. You can't change or control humans. You can only do the work within yourself. That being said, never worry or stress yourself about what you can't control or what isn't going the way you think it should. Love yourself and become the best version of yourself. People will always kick you while you're down or simply watch you. They'll never grab your hand and pull you up. But when you get up, everybody wants to be all for you. Choose wisely the company you keep. He posted this, and he said, when my boy was here, niggas had a chance to converse with him. That's all he wanted. That's his last interview before he left. Now he's resting. And it's mad disrespectful to speak on someone who can't defend them or speak for themselves.
Squash the beef with Young Thug and make music together again.
Okay, so I told you before I grew up listening to you, and I heard you on stage screaming Free Thugger, right? Is there any chance that at some point in the future, either be unreleased music or whatnot, that we'll hear y'all on a song together again?
That I don't know, because we do have a lot of we do have a lot of music that hasn't been released, but who knows what the future holds. First and foremost, let's free Thugger, let's free anybody locked up, let's free Luwop, Lucci. It's a touchy situation, so I try not to talk about it a lot, but I don't know what the future holds, man. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have a conversation, and then it'll start from there.
Okay, sure. I like that answer.
Y'all ain't gonna bitch nigga when they dead, man. Y'all already know that.
Now we got to just start calling a spade a spade. And I told you what the rumors are. Thug is trying to change the narrative. It was being said that Rich Homie Quan's career was kind of sacrificed in this like melee between the beef of YSL and YFN. YFN, their guy, Think Is a Game is above. So Think Is a Game is a company that signed Rich Homie Quan and Lucci. YFN starts beefing with Thug. Quan doesn't want to be linked with Thug because Thug is acting mad gay. He feels he's ruined his reputation, but also there's a lot of politics at play. Also, Quan kind of steps back because this shit's starting to get on some street shit. He steps back. Thug basically, and this is how it's been explained to me, it's not like Thug blackballed him, but it was known that people were picking sides. And everybody who was in the city who, like, it was either you're going to fuck with Lucci and them and Quan, right? And not saying Quan and Lucci weren't together, just to be clear. They weren't together, but it's like, it was either if you're with Thug, you're not messing with Lucci and you're not messing with Quan. You get what I'm saying? That's the best way to say it. If you're messing with Thug, so that's what people really felt, that Quan really, kind of became irrelevant because people stopped checking for him because it became unpopular to do so, mostly at the behest of what Thug and all his shit he had going on meant. Obviously, we heard the audio of Rich Homie Quan saying, yo, Thug probably had nut killed, but y'all never catch him, this and third.
Y'all come with that fake love.
So that's why people are like, yo, Thug, like, not saying the equivalent is, remember when King Von told me him and FBG Duck were friends after he died? Like, that clearly wasn't true, and I know they were enemies, but basically, I think Rich Homie Quan's family don't like the fact that Thug is kind of trying to carry the relationship like that. And this is where I vehemently disagree with Thug. Thug, even if maybe you know certain things that they don't know, The family of the deceased wants you to stop mentioning their fucking sibling's name. Get off that man's dick. Like, listen, he ain't here no more. His family is keeping up his memory, and his family's not that appreciative of you constantly trying to act like you and the nigga was buddy-buddy. Get off the nigga's dick. Seriously. Just stop. Like, listen, you didn't resolve whatever. And that's why they keep putting up these videos. They're saying you didn't. They're saying, why are you saying all this shit now? You didn't resolve this while he was alive. So that's true. Because you didn't resolve it while it's alive, it could be a regret of yours, but just let it go. Because how they're feeling is like you're trying to use his legacy to make you seem like some type of loyal, good guy, and you're not, in their opinion. That's what they're literally telling you. And I have to agree. They're deceased. The guy's deceased. He can't get up and speak for himself. So his family's saying, hey, we were around him all the time. We knew what he had to go through after y'all stopped messing with each other and he felt he was getting blackballed, this and third. Yes, stop mentioning his name like y'all were friends. Y'all were not friends. I'm going with the family on this one. I'm sorry. I don't even know why Thug is over here trying to like mention Rich Homie Quan. This is how you know Thug is sparring. Why are you mentioning Quan? Like, we get it. Rest in peace to Quan. We all love Quan. But to try to evoke like there was some type of like, you know, synergy or good blood there, it wasn't. The family's saying it. Just let it go. Just let it go, bro.
See, that would be pissing me out by that shit, man. Come on, man. No, you ain't gonna miss that nigga, man. That shit be lame as fuck, bro. Y'all.
Rich Homie Quan, final.
Yeah, the family literally saying it, dog. And he says, a cap don't care who wear it, and a lie don't care who tell it. And then so Thug responds by saying, no nigga on earth gonna tell you I switched up on them. I'm the definition of loyalty, and almost every nigga I know has switched on me at least once. He then says, yo, Quan went against me. How is it my pride? If your homie do some bullshit towards you, are you supposed to reach out first? Okay, and let me stop it here too. Let's say I believe Thug, which I do believe Thug. All right, let me not say I believe Thug. Let me say I'm going to go with whatever his narrative is, right? That Quan switched up on you. Bro, his family is telling you what happened when he died. When he died, him and you are not cool. Don't get online and act like y'all used to be locked in on some twin shit. Don't twin that man now. You could perform your song you got with him, pay some respects, yo, you know, rest in peace, Quan, but don't act like you and him was like buddy-buddy. Don't try to bring up like, oh yeah, we were like Shaq and Penny. No, y'all weren't. His family is speaking for him. His family is speaking for him, bro. And at the end of the day, he's dead. So I'm going with the family. Thug then says, I ain't fuck with Lucci because Quan didn't. He felt like Lucci did a song with a nigga that dissed him on the song. Wasn't my problem, but that was my brother. So I was with him. Then he stopped fucking with me because he thought he was bigger alone, which I had no problem with. But now y'all pussies want to post about a real nigga to Quan. Then he says to Quan's brother, tell them he was about to take a stand on me the week he died, since it's a lie. I still love him and I wish he was here though. I know I wouldn't have walked past him sleeping on the floor. So he's throwing little shots at the family like, yo, y'all let him die. And then he continued by saying, all this because I made a post reminiscent about a person I spent a lot of my career with as a friend and a brother. We all make mistakes, but I'm not the reason he died. Y'all are. Wow. So he's attacking the whole family now. I always told him to stop drinking and stop popping pills. Y'all made sure he had them when he woke up. Sorry, Pops, for this goofy shit, but these niggas coming at me because I posted your son in great regards. He said, I don't need a receipt, sissy. It's in black and white. Rest in peace, Quan. Condolences to his mom and dad. Y'all know I love him like my own, and I've always been respectful, and I was there for him when he went through what he went through. And he says, okay, we read this before. Hold on. Mom called me. Hold on. Oh my, I gotta get them to cut the grass in Pluto. Yo, my landscapers are so scared of Pluto. I can hear them. They're outside. They don't do the grass and shit because they think Pluto's out there. So I gotta tell them like, yo, could y'all? Pluto has a big area outside. I gotta tell him to cut that grass because he's not outside right now. Okay. That's what my mom called me to tell me to ask. All right. I think that's it on the Thug thing, man. Like, Thug, bro, like, leave it alone, dog. Leave it alone. You know?
Bro.
And Rich Homie Dre said, yo, Thug, bet $1 million we ain't cooperate. I got receipts.
You lame as hell, going with all that capping.
Okay.
Bro, you lame as hell, going with all that capping.
It's wrong.
And he says, Rich Homie Quan and Thug relationship. This is what the brother is still posting. It's like your exculpatory evidence is information that clears or tends to clear a defendant of guilt, blame, or liability in a legal case. It acts to justify, excuse, or create reasonable doubt, acting as the opposite of inculpatory, which is incriminating evidence.
Rich Homie Quan has given interviews shortly after January 10, 2015, all the way up to 2024, consistently how close he and Jeffrey Williams are. The prosecution said that Rich Homie Quan, his real name is Mr. Lamar, that he was coming to court and he would be testifying. And the prosecution did not call him. He was on a short list. He was under subpoena. They did not call him. I have a good faith belief. They didn't call him because, what? I'm sorry? Yeah, you need to. I have a good faith belief that the state did not call him because he gave exculpatory information about his relationship with Jeffrey Williams. So for the prosecutor to then say in front of the jury, and please check the record to make sure that what I'm saying is what was said by Ms. Love, but I immediately, that is wrong. Rich Homie Quan has given interviews shortly after.
Okay. And Thug responded by saying, if you're on trial with a jury and the DA office is saying his best friend, who he hangs and raps with every day, says, I know Thug killed Nut, but he's too smart, so y'all ain't gonna catch him for it. Of course, my lawyer is gonna say to the jury, no, his friend says tremendous things about him, pussy nigga. Okay. And he says, of course, my lawyer gonna interview a nigga hoping he say good things after he say bad shit to the DA. Stupid fool. I'm done talking to incompetent, indigent. Ooh, indigent. How Thug learn that word? This is the audio that
enforcement about
right. So my hand was on the spot. I saw it. We are show together. I was like, so I'm just asking yourself. Everybody been talking about it. I'm gonna just be a man and answer myself. Right. It's crazy, man. Those doors had something to do with it. We just can't prove. Right. Point blank period. I ain't no rat. I ain't telling no. I'm just being real with y'all. I got how much I love Nut, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit real fucked up, bro.
While it may be hard for some to understand Rich Homie speaking a language native to the streets of Atlanta, what he's speaking on is the very murder that would cause the fall of YSL.
I got one of the biggest bloods in America with me, my you did, Atlanta, Georgia.
There are shell casings up and down the street. Now, I'm told one of the men who was shot, a man in his mid-20s, is in critical condition, but that his status...
Hold on, let me go holler at my landscapers, all right?
Could change for the worse.
Keep watching, keep watching.
Rich Homie Quan's former manager, Donovan Thomas, who went by the name Peanut or Big Nut, was a member of the Inglewood family Bloods. His 2015 assassination outside of an Atlanta barbershop would result in a back and forth war between Inglewood family and Sex Money Murder. The majority of the violence will be documented in the YSL indictment. Prosecutors allege Young Thug was in communications with Sex Money Murder leader Kyle Ory, who's currently serving a life sentence in Georgia State Prison. Big Nut was said to have snitched against members of the gang, and prosecutors allege Young Thug orchestrated his death by renting the vehicle YSL members would later use to commit the drive-by that took Nut's life. After the hit, Thug and the alleged shooters would take a trip to Miami to lay low. Rich Homie Quan would speak with investigators explaining he never saw Thug in Atlanta after the murder. He was going to confront him at a Miami show over the rumors that Thug played a part in Nut's death. Rich Homie would allege people knew Thug had something to do with it, but they couldn't prove it. He'd then say he isn't a rat and he isn't telling, He's just keeping it real with investigators. Rich Homie would also allege Thug was jealous of the relationship he had with Nut, as Thug wanted to control the Atlanta music scene, and Nut was keeping Rich Homie at a distance from Thug. This wasn't all Rich Homie would speak on though. 2 pictures of the interview transcripts would make its way to News Made It. Rich Homie would state him and Thug frequented or resided in the same condominium leading up to Nut's death, and that they were cool. But after the murder, they drifted apart. 14 minutes into the interview, Rich Homie would speak on his truck being shot up and immediately calling Young Thug, alleging his people were behind it. He'd then speak on his father's barber shop being shot up and knowing whoever did it had something to do with Nut's death. 4 months before Nut was killed, a gunman would open fire inside of a barber shop, striking Rich Homie's father 4 times. The barber shop had just been shot up a month prior to this incident. Investigators believe the attack stemmed from Rich Homie beefing with local rappers, but at the time, Rich Homie Quan denied the rumors. Now speaking with investigators, when asked why his father would be targeted, Rich Homie explained at the time, him and Thug were doing shows together, but he was getting the most money. They wanted his dad out of the picture to further control Rich Homie's management, and they knew his dad was at the barbershop 24/7. He had no proof Thug was behind the shooting, but he did bring up an argument his dad had with Birdman. His father wouldn't share the details on what was said, but would later tell him, "We're gonna fall back from them." 22 minutes into the interview, Rich Homie was asked why he wouldn't sign with Birdman, and he explained other artists are constantly complaining about their financial situation. He felt he'd make more money on his own, and then later sign. Rich Homie would say that after Nut was killed, he didn't contact Thug, and Thug didn't contact him. Thug would move out of the condo about 2 weeks after the murder, and when asked why Thug called him Bitch Homie Quan 2 months after Nut's death, he didn't have an answer. Providing the investigator with Young Thug's phone numbers, the investigator asked if Thug ever made any threatening messages to him, but Rich Homie would state he's smarter than that. Roughly 30 minutes into the interview, the paperwork would be cut off, so realistically, we don't know how long Rich Homie sat down with investigators, but we do know he's on the YSL witness list. This leaves the possibility that Rich Homie would be called in to testify against Thug, as he'd have to recite everything said in the interview in front of Young Thug. So did Rich Homie Quan snitch? Absolutely. He's alleging Thug was behind the murder of Nut, the shooting of his father, and the shooting of his truck.
Wow. Yeah, I think this audio that Thug never thought, or no one thought was gonna get out, including Quan. If that audio basically is saying that, it's no way him and Thug could be cool if he thinks Thug may be behind his father getting shot at, right? Like, come on. This is why I don't know why Thug is pushing it. What do you think the family's gonna be like? Yeah, fuck us. We just love you. I don't get it. That's why I think Thug should just leave it alone.
Rich Homie would say he's keeping it real with investigators, and regardless of whether or not he portrayed a street lifestyle and abides by the street code, this is another major loss for the city of Atlanta, as another Atlanta rapper has cooperated. Now this is bad, and from what I heard from a source in Atlanta, the DA is trying to find out who's leaking all this, and they're trying to put charges on people for leaking this information, because stuff like this will make a witness not want to cooperate. And if a witness is like, hey, I just got exposed by so-and-so and they just released all this stuff that y'all said wasn't gonna get released, I don't want nothing to do with this, I don't want to testify, the courts can then charge that person with tampering with the witness. You just affected the case by fucking up a witness testimony. So this is getting deep. They're trying to find out who exposed YSL Woody. I guarantee you they're trying to find out who just released the audio to Rich Homie Quan. I feel that a lot of people are gonna have different opinions in this situation. Does Rich Homie Quan abide by the street code? I never heard of him having a gang affiliation. I don't really remember him talking about shooting people, this, that, and the third. He's saying a close friend of his was killed. He's willing to tell investigators everything he knows. He's saying his father was targeted and shot, and he himself was targeted and shot at. And goddamn, it's just like, who else is gonna tell? Who else already told and we don't know about it? I mean, they got mad names on the witness list. Even Lil Wayne and YFN Lucci. And Lucci just denied the deal they were trying to give him in his RICO case. So I can't imagine what they have that would make him a witness in this case. But in my opinion, just from what I read, since we don't know how long this interrogation actually was, we just know it was about 30 minutes, he did bad. He definitely did bad. Definitely didn't have to say all that, but made the decision to do so. I haven't heard a response from him after everything came out on the internet. I know that the night this video is being recorded, he's supposed to be performing at the same show as Boosie and Webby, and I don't know if there's gonna be any conflict from that situation. We're just gonna have to wait and see how this plays out. But hey, let me know y'all thoughts and comments in the comments section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. Till next time.
Okay. All right. So I'm still my same opinion. I think Thug should let it go. There's